The title of the event officially was called Youth and Skills, but as youth delegates here, we wanted to call it Keep Calm and Skill Up.
We focused on the role of skills development in terms of youth.
We came up with the idea of hosting this event, the role of youth skills in development. Sri Lanka is proposing a resolution on this together with the G77 group, so we thought it might be a great idea to invite some panelists and to discuss the different point of views.
We had a great lineup of speakers who spoke about the importance of skills development.
We spoke to the fellow youth delegates, got some interested people to co-host this event with us. We got on board the youth delegates from Netherlands and from Georgia to co-host this event. So we started out with a little team, and we also had our mentor, who's the third secretary at the Sri Lankan mission, Jaithma, to mentor us to host this event.
I live in the Netherlands, and a lot of young people, which I spoke to in the past years, they see that there is a mismatch between education, the universities they go to, and the working field. So they don't have enough decent jobs. So through talking about youth skills development and by connecting the education system better with the working field, I think that's of great importance of young people.
On the panel was our PR, His Excellency, the Ambassador, Dr. Palita Kohana. So he definitely supports all youth endeavors, and he definitely supports every activity that we have been a part of.
One of the reasons for the unemployment problem is the fact that we produce millions of youth from our education systems, more in some cases than in others, who simply cannot meet the needs of the employment market.
Then we had Daniela Bass, who is the director of UN DESA, and it was important to get an input from a UN body in terms of skills development. So that was Daniela's role today.
Although everybody is, for instance, 21 or 22 in all these countries, that is, even though you're talking to peers, these peers have different needs, and they might need different skills depending on the country where they live.
And we also had Ravi and Chris. Chris from civil society, who represented civil society, and Ravi, who's a youth advisor.
Other issues that I always dealt with as a youth worker was that how do you quantify and qualify what youth are prioritizing? Where is that evidence? Every meeting I went to, and they said, so what are youth saying? What are their priorities? Who's saying this? Is this coming from your own head? So My World Survey is one of the biggest survey ever conducted on UN system in a policy process, has reached over 5 million people from across 193 countries.
People understand what they need for their own development and growth. That we've seen clearly, whether it was at whatever policy conference any of you have attended, whether it was the World Conference on Youth that just happened in Sri Lanka, or whether it was youth delegates active in Third Committee or other policy negotiations.
Many issues have been raised already. The current unemployment situation of young people, 74.5 million are estimated to be unemployed at the moment. Many others are neither in employment nor in education or training, the so-called needs. And in developing countries, the challenge is not only job creation, but also to ensure the quality of jobs.
I also witnessed that youth of Georgia really aligned themselves with an idea that there can be no prosperity and no progress without full participation of young people with disabilities. We live in the world where over 73 million young people are unemployed, and this group will suffer even more.
Working with young people and representing youth here at the UN, it's often critical that we ensure that youth voices are included in a lot of these discussions, especially that around policies related specifically to youth.
We expected 50 people to show up. In the end, it was over 100. The panelists gave their statements, and also the Twitter session where people could tweet. It was not only people tweeting from this room, but we also had people interacting from Amsterdam to Botswana, from India to Colombo. So it was absolutely amazing that you can see that in 2014, when you host the event, it doesn't stay only in this room, but it gets directly explored to the rest of the world.